to another writing vlog. I'm Abby if we haven't met before. I'm a writer and I like to work on fantasy books. I published one young adult fantasy book and I'm currently working on an adult fantasy dark academia novel about defying the laws of physics. So if any of that sounds interesting, so happy to have you here. It's been a while, but I'm working on The Artist's Way. Now, if you haven't heard of this, it's kind of like a mini college course that is about finding your kind of artistic spirit and inspiration and kind of getting back. It's kind of like a giant therapy book. And I had heard it recommended a lot of times before, but I never actually took the plunge and started doing it. One of the biggest kind of consistent things in this is doing morning pages. So you have to write 3 full pages, long form a day, first thing in the morning. And that has been really interesting. So I did that already today. It's already a bit later in the day, but I'm excited to make some progress on Potentia. Kind of where we are right now is that next week, I'm going to start working with an editor on my query package. So this is definitely not a necessary part of the process, but I wanted to get a professional's feedback on my query. I did query the power of shadows and did not get a lot of bites. I don't think that the pitch was really necessarily strong enough. So, you know, it is what it is, but I want some professional feedback to learn before I start the querying process for Potentia. So I'll definitely be sharing all of my learnings here and the before and afters of the query, the synopsis, the first 10 pages to show kind of like what a professional thinks about when they're looking at it, and maybe some ways that you can also take to improve your own query package if that's what you're doing. So preparing for that and also simultaneously working on draft 3. So I'm about 20K words through draft 3 in the editing process, and some of the sections need a lot more hands-on work than others, but I've been tracking that in this, which I've gotten really into stationery. And this is the Paper Republic journal where you can slot different notebooks in. So I have one that's kind of a Gantt chart notebook and is tracking the progress through my current draft. So I've been really enjoying this as kind of a visual long form method to see the progress I'm making on draft 3. But anyways, it's the beginning of October now, and I'm gonna try targeting querying starting in November. So if you're interested in that kind of content, that'll also be here. And as for today, in today's writing vlog, we're gonna go to a cute cafe, get some revisions done, and see how far we can make it through draft 3. And I would love to hear your writing goals are for the day or for the week, or generally where you are in your project. So we can chat down below, because writing can be very lonely. But yes, I think that's all the housekeeping and updates. So let's get the show on the road. I know. Been a while since we last checked in. So it's 7 p.m. now. So I had my little writing session at the cafe, and then I wrote a little bit in the town square, and I got about a little over 1,000 words done, which is pretty good. I'm finding that in this draft, I thought it would be a little bit more reorganizing and editing, but I'm pretty much rewriting mostly every scene. So that will be in total about like 100,000 words. Right now we're just about 20,000 words into it, which is pretty good. And I've gotten really distracted on TikTok. I'm trying to find some writer friends in person. I recently moved to San Francisco. I guess not that recently anymore, it's like a year ago, but I haven't been very good about going out and finding people and finding friends, especially in the writing spaces. And so last week I went to a writers meetup on Saturday, and then on Tuesday I went to a writers group, so that's pretty fun. But in general, I'm trying to find a little bit more of a sense of community, because especially as I'm about to enter the trenches, things are gonna get a lot worse mental health wise, and so having that community really helps, which having you guys helps too. But it's nice, there's not like a ton of commenters, so it's nice to have people who talk back and to share and chat. So yes, also very excited about that, but I'm ready to do some more sprints. I have some tea with it, which, if I'm being totally honest, is definitely leftover tea from earlier today, but I am definitely known for drinking old drinks and not finishing my drinks. Yep, This is a new mic. You guys like the new mic? Okay. I'm procrastinating still. I'm gonna write and it's gonna be great. I'm using this new Pomodoro app, the Hank Green Bean one, Focused Friend Buddy. So let's set a timer. I have been loving my new playlist. So with The Artist's Way, I had on week 4 a reading detox / content detox where you're not supposed to put any new ideas in your head, but you can listen to music. So I have not been really into music as much lately, and this was kind of a resurgence or renaissance for my music interests because oh my gosh, it's been amazing. I curated a playlist for this book, and I had a playlist curated for my last book that always got me in the mood anytime it came on, and this has just really been very fun to have. It just kind of gets me in the right mindset, so I've been really enjoying that. This writing sprint went pretty well. I have my little socks that I got from my sprint. If you haven't heard of this app before, it's a Pomodoro application, except for they knit little socks and you can't interrupt the sprint because then he'll stop knitting his sock and lose all the progress, which appeals to me in many different ways because I love the cute little apps, little like Tamagotchi type things. I've talked a lot about my other app called Happy, which is a huge motivator. So right now I have a little bit of poop on my screen, but you get a poop every time you don't fulfill the habit, and so I can just check it off and all the poop's clear, which is very motivating. So I haven't written for the past few days, which is how I've gotten some poops, but now I get to clear it, so that's great. Anyways, in this writing sprint, I got about 600 words, which is pretty good, and I feel like I'm making a little progress. This scene is one of the very pivotal scenes, about 20% in, which is where they go to the magic province for the first time, the research province, where they discover that people can walk on walls and defy the laws of physics. And so I think in the past draft and past versions, that hasn't been as punchy as it needed to be. The characters kind of accepted it too soon, I think. So I'm trying to put a lot more emphasis on it and make it seem like a lot more of a revelation and really get into the mindsets of how each character might react differently to that. So that's been really fun. A little bit harder than some of the previous chapters, but overall I think this version just has a lot more tension between the characters and their relationship. I think there's a lot more behind kind of where they're coming from. I think in previous versions I knew that I wanted them to not like each other, and I personally knew why, but I think this has a lot more of it on page, so hopefully it gives a little bit more reasoning. But I'm hoping to get some more critique partners to review some of the early chapters to really see if it's landing how I want it to be, since I definitely am too close to the work right now. And I'm very excited for that editor to take a look and see what she thinks of the first 10 pages and the synopsis and all of that. So all of that are very exciting things to come. I think I might end off the vlog here and just have it be a quick little writing evening and check-in. And yeah, thanks so much for hanging out with me this evening. And again, I would love to hear about your projects, and if you're looking for a critique partner or any sort of feedback, please comment down below. I would love to get connected. And have a great rest of your day, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye!